Welcome in to my two bits. This is First Bites. We are looking at the rapid reaction of the USF Bulls versus the Florida Gators tonight. I am your host, Mr. Randy, along with my other host, Ben. Ben, how are you, my man?
I think we've all been better. I think you did. You deserve some definite points for sounding as chipper as you just did on that intro. Well done, sir. Well done. Yeah. Anybody got any hair left, or did they all rip it out? Yeah. That was rough. That was rough. We'll get into it a little now. We'll talk through it, and we'll go from there. So yeah. Why don't you walk us through the plan for the evening, and we'll get started here.
Exactly. All right. So this is First Bites for my two bits. Basically, we're going to keep it concise, nice and simple. We're going to take you all through a quick agenda, and here is what it looks like. We're going to give a quick game summary at a high level. We're going to look over some key stats. We're going to look at an impact play. We're going to look into a player of the game. And then we're going to wrap it up. So, like our regular show again, we're all about facts. We're all about the analysis, all things Florida Gator football. Yes, we're going to make it as accurately as possibly can, citing our sources whenever we use them. All statistical data coming tonight from ESPN, the box score. So, we're going to start off from there. Let's go to the opening point of the agenda, game summary. B, get us started.
Yeah, game summary. Well, dumpster fire. Does that sum it up? Holy cow. What a difficult thing to watch. For what it's worth, I actually did see some things that I liked better this week than last week to try and start on something that isn't just completely negative. Though obviously this is going to be mostly negative. There were some things I liked seeing Trey actually running routes. Trey, the leading receiver in this game, coming off the being the negative stat line that he had in receiving yards last week, leading receiver this week. I think when you look at it, there's definitely some positives that could be taken away from this, but I don't care because we lost to USF. So I really don't care what the positives are, quite frankly, because ultimately at the end of the day, the play calling throughout the game, really from beginning to end. I mean, again, at times it was okay, but then we get in the red zone, it gets bottled up, it looks like garbage, and then there you go. And then we get a 1-point lead in the fourth quarter, and Napier's out there trying to bleed clock with 10 minutes left in the game and a 1-point lead. And that's just not how you play modern football. This isn't 1942. Get with it, dude. And obviously he's not going to, for the record. And I'll talk more about it probably in a minute. But this is ridiculous. It's absurd. We should have fired him last year. We're still not going to fire him now, in all likelihood anyway. I don't know. One can hope. But I've been calling for it since after Texas A&M, and I'm still there. Haven't changed. I just stopped talking about it because it wasn't serving any purpose because I knew it wasn't going to happen. So you want to go back and listen. I was calling for it every week since Texas A&M until the Texas announcement where we said we were not going to do that. So then I just stopped talking about it because I was wasting my breath. So anyway, I'm still there. I haven't changed my stance. I don't believe he's the right fit, regardless of what he's been able to do with culture and talent and all those things, which are great. But if you cannot give up play calling and you insist on doing this ridiculous stuff that we saw tonight, then this is what you get. UF, this is what we get. Gator Nation, this is what you get. 16 points against a group of 5 opponent that is not particularly good on defense, especially against deep passing, by the way. Especially against deep passing, they're not particularly good. What's DJ Lagway really good at? Oh, deep passing. Did we attempt a deep pass tonight? No, we didn't. Not one over 20 air yards, I wouldn't say off the top of my head from just watching that game. Might have been one.
Maybe the one picked.
Oh, the one that got picked off. The one to start event that got picked off was over 20 air yards. Actually, except it didn't get picked off, but that's a whole other conversation.
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
I'm reminded of a ballad from the great movie Billy Madison. Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Good.
you know what? Lunch lady made it extra sloppy for us tonight. And that's what we did. Kudos to Trey Smack for scoring a bunch of points, but
Yeah, he
I
cleaned that
think
up, didn't he?
he did in many ways. So good to see him back on track. But that is ideally not what you wanted to see happen. I mean, we're not going to win a game because Trey Smack is our leading scorer with 9 points. It's just not going to happen. So,
He had 10.
stop.
He had 10. He made that extra point. Give him credit.
My apologies. I stand
We need
corrected.
hey, we need every point we could get tonight, man.
You're not lying. So yes, 3 field goals, the 1 PAT, 10 points. Trey Smack. Thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you very little. No, sloppy game. When you look at, we'll get into folks. We'll get into the officiating probably Monday night. No,
Yeah.
sorry, probably yes, we'll get on Monday night. But sloppy. Could get into a rhythm. I felt like our offensive line was not the word that we were looking for. That we thought they would
No,
be.
it is not.
Like very, very pedestrian, not even serviceable, pedestrian like, to let this USF 4-man rush just disturb DJ. Okay. Um,
Yeah.
the rhythm, not good. Uh, Different things like Rocco Underwood, no disrespect, Rocco. I've never seen him sail a pass like that, a snap
Ever.
like that.
Ever.
Some of the miscues that we had, obviously, that led to a USF touchdown in the third quarter, where we're getting a play call coming in from the sideline, and USF's about to snap the ball. Really,
Yeah.
really, Ron?
Yeah. Last I checked, they
How's
run a
that?
hurry up offense. But if you prepare for
Oh,
that,
they were in a
maybe you'd
hurry
know
up.
that. I don't
Okay,
know.
out
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
rhythm, out of sorts,
Yeah.
sloppy play calling, sloppy game management, sloppy time management,
Oh
sloppy
yeah. Well,
when it
typical.
comes to the overall construction of, and even sloppy on the execution side as well. Okay, when you
In a lot
look
of
at
ways, yes.
right when you look at the defense and what they've done, I mean, I want to say our defense has given up somewhere around 10 and a half, 11 points over the last 6 games. Okay, and they haven't crossed 17 points until tonight, where they give up 18. Okay, I don't know about you,
Yeah.
but I can't really fault the defense too much. Maybe the final
No.
2 minutes and
No,
43
not at all.
seconds. Right outside of that, I cannot. So, anyways, that's it. High level. I'm done there. I just want to close that off. B. Let's go into how about our next point here. Let's look into some key stats. What do you have as key stats for the game?
Yeah. So for key stats, and I'm real quick, I'm with you on. I'm not going to put this on the defense. I don't care that last
Okay.
drive they gave up that drive. I'm not putting this on the defense because, again, like you just said, and we'll talk more about it later. But
Yeah.
my key stat is going to be penalties. Penalties for sure. Now we'll definitely have our thoughts on the officials, but when you go for 0 penalties in your last game. And this game, you go for obviously 0 yards. And this game, you have 11 penalties for 103 yards. That's similar to what LIU had last week
Mm-hmm.
against us. Super penalized. 103 yards in penalties.
That all?
Obviously, the spitting thing at the end of the game is totally unacceptable. But
Oh,
that no place for that. I'm disgusted by it. Do not condone that at all. I know Jamar Lyons did it a couple of years ago. I don't know what's going on with the spitting thing last night in the NFL. Now tonight,
right.
or 2 nights ago, excuse me. And I don't know what the deal is, but we got to stop that mess. That's just ridiculous. But yeah, so 11 penalties for 103 yards. Definitely a couple of them highly questionable. We will talk about that, but some of them were not highly questionable. For the record, I didn't have a problem with every call or anything, not by a long shot. Several of them were probably pretty right on, and not great. Delay a game on a punt, not great. I think that was actually the punt where we then had the high snap and gave up the safety. Actually, I could be wrong about where that fell, but I think that's right. So that's not terrific at all there from a special team standpoint. You had them on offense, you had them on defense. They were both sides of the ball. Well, didn't look like the same team that was playing last week from a discipline standpoint. So yeah, so my key stat is going to be that, because obviously, and most importantly, You had one that brought back a touchdown. Now, one of the ones, I know two different penalties brought back touchdowns. One of those calls I do not agree with strongly. Again, we'll talk about it Monday night. But one of them, the first one that brought back the Jacoby Jackson touchdown, was absolutely correct. It was a hold. It was called properly. It was not a blatantly terrible hold or anything, but it was a hold. You got your arm outside. It was a hold, and you cost your team a touchdown. And you just can't do stuff like that. You just can't do it. And that's the type of thing that costs you football games, right? And there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And if we had another touchdown, we don't lose. So there you go. Now, again, we'll talk about the other one Monday. I'll leave it for now. But that's why it's my key stat, because that particular penalty cost us points, and that's your ball game, pure and simple.
Gotcha. I would have to agree with you, but I'm going to go a different direction. When you look at
Sure.
this game as far as moving the football, I felt like we had difficulty moving the football, getting downfield, outside of the passing game, outside of the rhythm of everything. I'm going to point out third down conversion.
Mm.
Down
Mm.
conversion rate of 4
Good one.
of 12.
Yep, 4 of
Really?
12.
Really? This is what,
Yep.
folks, I don't know what it is. And again, for the record, B and I have talked about Napier, play calling, call sequence, rhythm, timing, all those things, whatever you want to talk about, right? You know, it's like a Latin dancer who doesn't have hips. He can't dance, can't do it. Okay, it is what it is. However, with this lineup that we have, with the personnel that we have, the execution should be much more crisp. For whatever reason,
Yep.
DJ is not seeing, feeling, sensing. He's not comfortable. Period. He's not
Yeah,
comfortable at all.
he's
And
not
I'll
for sure.
and I'll just leave it at that. So for a very not even pedestrian, a bleak 4 out of 12 on third down. So that's my key stat. All right, next up, B. Let's look at the impact play. I think I know what yours is, but please give it to me.
So my impact play, even though I'm not putting the loss on the defense, is going to be that screen that we had swallowed up there on that last drive for USF that then we
Okay.
somehow missed like multiple tackles, and let him go for like a 25-yard gain down the sideline there to the running back. It's very uncharacteristic of this defense. I don't know what happened there. I really don't. I don't know how that was able to occur and go down the way that it did, but it did, and I believe that was the start, obviously, of what cost us the game there. So, not putting this loss on the defense, as I said, we should have scored more than
Yeah,
we did, but ultimately, that for me is the impact play of the game for sure.
gotcha. I'm gonna go back to a reference point that I mentioned about the hurry up offense, quick read by USF. It's about 2:03 to go left in third quarter, and Bynum gets under center. Okay. And our defense is looking to the sideline for a play, and he's about to snap the ball. Ball goes to the right, downfield. Denson and Johnson collide. Touch it. 66-yard game for a touchdown. That
Yeah, it's a good one too.
go ahead score. And that's why I can say you felt a lot of just air. I wasn't in the swamp, thank goodness, but you just felt it, just like what just happened. An explosive play, a 66-yard play, the go ahead score, and to that end, what you mentioned to me, B, my biggest point of that is they didn't. We responded, but not right away. The very next drive was a dud. So, anyways,
Yeah.
that 66-yard bus was just tough. Tough to see. All right,
Yep.
next
For
up
sure.
on the agenda, let's look at player of the game. B, what do you got?
It's a tough one. Since there are a couple guys on offense that are probably worthy, but since I'm faulting the offense for the loss, I'm not going to give it to anybody on that side. So I think I'm going to have to go to the
Yeah.
defense on this one, and
Okay.
I'm going to have to give it to. It's tough, but I think I'm going to have to give it to Miles Graham, actually. Even though he did not lead the team in tackles, that was actually Jaden Robinson. But Miles Graham with 8 total tackles, 4 solo. And even though he didn't show up with a pass defended like Jaden Robinson did, he made a heck of a tackle in great coverage to stop a potential third down conversion. So I think Miles, once again, just being all over the field, looking great. Really, really do like the promise of this kid and where he's coming from. And really the defense as a whole, I did not have a problem with how the defense played in this game at all. I thought they were actually quite good. This is a tough team offensively. They get a lot of explosives. We gave them
Yeah.
one, gave them one in the entire game, and it was on just a play we weren't ready for, which is shame on us. But
Yeah.
if we had been ready for it, I don't think we give it up. They tried a couple others, no dice. We were ready for them. So the defense came prepared. They were ready to play. They really looked good. I felt like they played lights out, honestly. And again, I mean, I think 18 points, like you said, is very reasonable. So anyway, player of the game for me is Miles Graham. Who you got?
Nice, I like it. Believe it or not, it's going to be Trey Smack. I was actually
Yeah.
going to toss up between Jaden Robinson and Trey because Jade led the defense with tackles. Great job, Jaden. Spot on.
Yep.
Outside
Agreed.
of that,
Very nice.
I was happy to see that Trey. Even though I saw this game from TV, I know we were in the swamp last week. The eyes, the way that Trey's eyes looked, his body language, his demeanor, just seeing him on some of the other stuff on the sideline that I watched from some of the different camera angles, he was locked back in. Locked back in. So a big makeup to the point where, going 2 for 5 last week, going 3 for 3 this week. I thought that was a big rebound for him and a confidence boost moving forward because it looks like we will need him. Period.
We're I don't we're gonna need a lot more than just him, but that's a conversation for Monday.
Exactly. Case in point. All
Yep.
right. So that's our agenda, folks. Nothing fancy, nitty gritty, short and sweet. Outside of that, let's just wrap things up real quick. B, where do you stand or sit?
Yeah, I feel like I need to be lying down for this one. This is a tough pill to swallow. Obviously, goes without saying. Again, we'll get into a lot more of it on Monday. I'm sure it'll be a full therapy session, whereas this is only an abbreviated one. But it's good to talk about your feelings, right? It's good to talk about them.
Yes,
Got a
sir.
lot
It's
of
therapy.
feelings. Got a lot of feelings. It's difficult. I'm trying to be funny, trying to be lighthearted about it as best I can. But at the end of the day, this really stinks. I mean, it's really stinks.
Oh,
Really, really tough to see a team with this much talent get beat by a team that does not have anywhere near the talent that we do. And when you see that happen, you got nobody to blame but the coaching. And that's where I'm at. And that's where I continue to be at. And that's the problems we continue to see and have. So again, we'll hash it out more on Monday for the full episode that we'll do then. But hopefully you'll enjoyed some of the breakdown here of the little quick thoughts here on the first bites. And yeah, we look forward to bringing you the full episode on Monday. Let you give any closing thoughts you got there, Randy, and I'll sign us off.
my closing thoughts are thank you for the therapy session. Really needed it. It's good to at least get some of these feelings out. As Dr. Phil would say, what is absolutely driving you crazy? Get it out as soon as you can. I think we tried to do that. So thanks for the relief tonight, B. And I just no more words, man. Just an absolute shocker and not in the good way. And it's just a shame that we have to talk about the same old, same old.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It gets really old. I'm
Mhm.
pretty tired of talking about it too. So maybe that'll change at some point, but it doesn't look like it's going to anytime in the real near future, unfortunately. So again, if you've enjoyed this and enjoyed the breakdown here, come check us out on Monday. We drop the new episode usually between 9 and 10 o'clock at night. So give us a listen. Appreciate the time. And wherever you are and whenever you may be listening, thanks for taking the time. And we'll see you around, Gator Nation.